So I'm here with Cameron. So Cameron, introduce yourself for anyone who doesn't know who you are.
My name is Cameron Burke, independent agent here in Oklahoma City. Started with the Levinson team. They taught me all the fundamentals, probably what we're going to be going on over here today.
Maybe a little bit.
Specialize in creative financing solutions, so we have owner finance options, purchase options, etc. We're a one-stop shop for anybody looking to purchase here in Oklahoma City. So
how many? So you've been in real estate how many years?
3 years.
3 years. Last year was a full year independent, right?
Last year, full year independent, yes.
How many transactions did you close last year?
69.
69 transactions. All right. So first question, I emailed Cameron some questions, and we're going to be talking about lead follow-up, all right? And before we talk about lead follow-up, the number one question is, do you have this magic source of leads that as soon as they contact you, they say, I just want to buy a house, shut up and take my money?
No, I don't. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Okay. I don't want to get into like lead generation today. I just want to focus on lead follow-up, but what are your sources of leads?
We're all over the place. Referrals, of course, Facebook, Craigslist, Google Ads. We're expanding to YouTube soon. Anything that gets me in front of people is what I try and.
But just the general stuff that pretty much everyone else is doing.
Yep.
All right. So
open houses still.
Open houses.
Yep.
So, number 2 question. So now that everybody knows that like he's not getting a special source of leads, 69 closed transactions for his group. And how many people are on your team?
We have 6 now.
6 agents.
Yes, that was independent. I don't know. Our group just started in like November.
Okay.
So we've got. I don't know. I haven't tracked. Our team has had a few closings though this year. So.
All right. So when you receive a lead, how quickly do you expect one of your teammates to respond to that lead?
Within 5 minutes.
Within 5 minutes.
Yeah. So we have auto plans that automatically start. So regardless whether I can get the lead or not, the auto plans are automatically going out. We're texting them, dripping them immediately.
Okay.
And then I call them as soon as possible.
And then, let's say the lead doesn't answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody comes in on Facebook, they inquire on a property, they ask about special financing. How many times do you attempt to contact them, and how many different ways do you try to make contact with them, create communication?
Until they tell me to stop. Really. I mean,
until they tell you to stop.
Until they tell me stop,
okay.
F off, whatever that is. I mean, we will continue.
What if they tell you to stop looking your auto plan? Do you still keep trying?
I will on my personal phone. Yeah, it depends. It depends on the lead itself.
So no doesn't mean no.
Yeah, it really doesn't because it really doesn't.
In terms of real estate.
Yeah. If they come through a certain app that says, "Hey, I'm going to be reaching out to you," if they tell me stop, I'm going to reach out again until I get on the phone with them, and then they tell me not to call them on the phone. But I've had plenty of leads that have replied stop to the auto plan, and then like I had a lead the other day, replied stop to the auto plan, called her on my personal phone, she hung up on me. So I sent her a video. Like KV Court has these videos now. Said, look, I know you've hung up on me, but I also know that you were interested in these programs, so I'm following back up. And then I got a response out of her and was able to continue that conversation after. So it just depends. If it's like a marketplace lead or somebody that's just coming through looking at houses, I'll just put them on a listing alert and drip them that way. Otherwise, if they intentionally said yes, reach out to me, I will reach out until they tell me over the phone not to.
So you set somebody up, drip campaign, they tell you no. Then you call them on your personal phone and they hang up on you. Then you send them a video like, hey, I'm giving you what you asked for.
If it's a lead that says, hey, I'm going to be reaching out to you, I will continue until I can get in front of them. Because the auto plans, sometimes especially with KV Court, this is the downside, is it says, please reply stop if you're not interested, or please reply opt out. You can't do anything about it. And so a lot of people just reply stop or opt out, even though they're probably still interested. So I will continue forward.
Fantastic. So on a daily basis, when you talk about your daily systems and processes, what does your daily routine look like for lead follow-up?
So thankfully, I've got a CRM manager now that we have canned responses that he goes through, puts everybody on listing alerts, sends the canned responses out. He doesn't talk to anybody, but he sends out, our simple, hey, are you still interested in looking at properties? I first thing in the morning get my list of active clients and I send out new properties to them every morning. Now, if I've sent out new properties to a client and they haven't responded 2 or 3 times, and I've sent those properties and they're approved, ready to start looking, I won't send any more properties until I get a response. It's kind of like I'm holding the houses hostage until they respond to me. So like this morning, I had a lady that hasn't responded. after 3 goes. So I called her and said, hey, is there, can I change the listing up for you? And she's like, oh yeah, actually I want to see properties from these areas. So then having that communication, I'm going to send her a list of properties, set the appointment. So I always start with my initial follow-up on my active clients, and then we move to new leads in the pipeline for the day, and then I call and follow up with those.
Okay, so step back for a minute. So you have all your leads set up on listing alerts,
Everyone.
but then you're also going through and sending them, emailing them, either the same properties or new property or different properties, and you're expecting a response from one of these 2 different emails.
Yeah, exactly. And on KV Core and on all of Brevity, if you guys still use that, whatever CRM, you can look at and see who's been on the website in the last 24 hours. So I'll go through and say, hey, are we still sending the right properties over? And that gets a response usually. Or, hey, are you getting the correct homes from me? So just like different variations of that to get responses from people. And then from there, if I get a response, we continue the conversation. So those are, a lot of the leads we work require 3 to 6 months or more of follow-up. They're not ready when they come into the pipeline, so we just put them on the listing alerts. We have different different drip campaigns, long drip, short drip, our initial drip, and then we'll just move them around from there. So that's why I said we continue following up. They'll go